Well, alrighty then.
All right.
Back at it on another episode.
Indeed.
So let's just go ahead and deal with the elephant in the room. Pastor Josh is back.
He is back. He has made it back. This is the real one.
Yes.
This is the real one.
Yep, an impersonator.
Yes, a clone. As a matter
Yeah,
of fact.
clone. That's exactly right.
We got rid of the clone.
Sort of.
Well, it's just like clones are like slugs. I had to learn this in science class. They're like slugs. If you pour salt on their tail, then they shrivel up. So that's what we end up doing to your clone. We poured salt on his tail, and he shriveled on it. What a world! What a world!
Yes, she shriveled up.
Yes, she shriveled.
I noticed I made the board.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right, I like
yes,
it.
indeed.
You're definitely on there.
That's right.
Just a disclaimer real quick. Chloe is perfectly fine. She is
She's
safe.
good.
Just
She's
making sure
good.
everybody
A
knows
little
that.
shorter. but she's fine.
Yes, she is good to go. Rocking and rolling.
So,
All right, so how's everybody been since the last podcast?
Been pretty good. Weather's been kicking our heinies here lately, but I think we through the most of it. We got another cold front right here in the middle of what's been 80 degrees the last.
hallelujah,
Close
though.
to 90. Close
Yeah.
to 90 degrees.
But no, I mean, I'm happy. I'm glad warm weather's getting here. Bass fishing's picking up, so
Yeah,
can't complain there.
indeed.
I like cold weather, so I enjoy it. It feels
like
so
cold
nice
weather.
outside. You can leave the doors open on the house and just let the cool air in.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yes.
You can open the doors. You can let the bugs out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hopefully they'll stay out. But no, we've been kind of running like crazy, just redoing some of the stuff at our house, all that kind of stuff, and then getting everything ready for some of these things that are coming up at the church, and then playing volleyball and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And we're playing a tournament and all that good stuff soon. So we got a lot kind of
Nice.
in the burner. So
Nice.
how's your week been?
Well, I've been in Plantation World as usual, and it never stops. It never stops. We go from, guest season, which we're right at the tail end of it, to non-guest season, which is where we make repairs and build new stuff, whenever we don't have guests. So,
Yeah.
like right now, we're in the transitionary period between guests and I'm about to start a big project out there at the smokehouse. If y'all probably remember that house right next to mine, that big giant building next to mine. I got to redo the back roof of that, which is going to be a task because this is at least 120, I'm going to say 150-year-old building, and it's gigantic and massive, and I got to do it without damaging the building, and it's weird. So I'm going to enjoy that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I do enjoy the challenge though, because I get to rack my brain on how to do this safely and effectively, and make it look good. So I enjoy the challenge. It's a little bit better than changing light bulbs out, which is usually what I do during guest season. My whole job consists of changing out light bulbs when we have guests.
There you go.
And toilet seats.
Yes, and plunging toilets. We don't talk about that.
Well, speaking of Plantation World, we just want to take a moment to thank our proud sponsors of
Yes,
Mill Pond Plantation.
Mill Pond
Hallelujah.
Plantation.
What did they sponsor us with? The guy right there?
Yeah. Yep. That's about
And the cool hat.
Cool hat.
That's right.
cool.
All right, so well, as you guys have seen from our latest promo, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. Prison Mike shows his butt off in that episode. Like, look, he didn't have a stunt double, y'all. I'm proud of him. He did all that stuff on his own. It was pretty wild and a little scary.
Nothing caught on fire.
We almost did catch
Nothing
on fire.
caught on fire.
We almost did catch on fire. It was a little risky there a little bit for a second, but as you tell, it was about NASA. So that's kind of what we're going to be digging in today.
We are in one of those moments where it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. And Pastor, we didn't burn anything. I just want to say that. So we didn't burn anything. So
I guess we can look at the title slide first.
let's look at that title slide real
Let's
quick.
see about the title slide.
To infinite and
I
beyond.
don't know who made that graphic.
It's probably that impersonator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Made our graphic.
That clone did that jump when it spelled infinity and
beyond,
made infinite.
to infinite and beyond.
We just copyright reasons we couldn't put that in there.
Yes.
So don't look at the NASA, but the to infinite and beyond is what we have to say.
To infinite and beyond.
Yeah.
That's right. So you guys ever heard of any of the NASA conspiracy theories?
Oh yeah,
There's a pile of them out there.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
we've landed on the moon.
Oh,
that kind
moon
of stuff.
landing.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is-
Yeah, there's. I mean, man, you can count. You can't count how many there are. To be honest with you, there's so many.
Yeah.
Because it even ties the flat Earth and all that kind of
Flat
stuff
Earth,
too.
yep.
So, and then of course we just talked about Planet X last week, Nibiru, and it's part of it too. So
It is.
There's so much when it comes to NASA, and oh my goodness, I don't want to go too far ahead because I know what we're about to dive into. So
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I guess for the audience, in case you guys have never heard any of the NASA conspiracy theories, we have a compilation which just touches on it. There's a lot, like these brothers said, there's a whole lot out there of maybe NASA being a little dishonest or whatever, some crazy shenanigans with NASA. So we have a little compilation of just some of the stuff. It's not a lot, but it'll give you the idea that, this isn't some conspiracy theory that we just, made up, or we wouldn't do that, or, pulled it out of a hat. This really is a actual conspiracy theory. And we're going to kind of, look at it and relate it all the way back to some biblical stuff. So watch how we do that. But anyway, all right, look, y'all want to check out the
Let's jump in.
compilation? Let's do it.
oh yeah, how he's caught on it.
Oh, man, what is that? What's that guy got going on right there?
See on the back of the shirt a couple of upticks either side where you would expect wires to come
He's
in on
he's
either
holding.
side of
He's
that
got
wire,
he's got a weapon back there.
portraying that this is
And then look.
Oh, George Bush right there.
choreographed and edited in advance
Oh
to
my
make sure
gosh.
that there's nothing too obvious.
We all know NASA uses wires, and sometimes we'll
Oh,
catch them like
whoa.
this here.
Yeah.
Guy pulled on his wire. However, some
Holding
days
on to
when
it.
you're filming live, things
watch
just
right there.
don't work
Oh,
out.
come
It
here, get
becomes
over
so
here.
blatantly obvious. It's ridiculous.
That is pretty wild.
So, in this clip, they're talking, live feed.
What is that?
Yes.
Well, you know, we
He must not have realized people were watching. He seen some cookies over there. Huh?
Funny. It's like he was propped up, and all of a sudden the prop got broke, and he just swinging back and forth.
Yes.
Crank over that rover.
Oh, this is actually a video NASA put out internally for their employees, and I just thought it was really cringe. So,
A
little bit.
Ain't afraid to show it, show it, show it, show it. We're NASA and we know it.
man, that dude right there makes me a believer.
Makes me something.
We're NASA and we know it.
All right, so
Okay.
that's it. That's complete. We could have had a whole lot more, but we
Yeah.
got stuff to talk about. So, what do you guys think about that old compilation of just those couple of videos?
It makes me laugh.
I think the first thing. Just say I'm a whole. I believe what the news tells me. I believe what NASA tells me. Like, I want to know, why do you got a fake floating? Hey,
Yeah, what's up with that
if
guy?
you're gonna fake the interview floating, what else are you gonna fake?
Yeah.
What are you
I mean,
going to fake?
Oh my god.
The guy just breaks loose in the background while you're trying to have an interview, and he's just swinging around like a wrecking ball.
I just got too tickled on that one. That was so funny to me. And like the look on his face was like, "Oh crap! I should."
Well, obviously
Oh,
NASA
my
comes from
gosh.
something. I mean,
NASA definitely comes from something.
Yeah.
I can tell you, in looking for the compilation stuff, like I actually compiled those videos together from a couple of different sources, but it's strange. And I was telling these guys, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I could go on YouTube or anywhere on the internet and just type in NASA fakery or something like that, and I'd have a population of a whole bunch of videos where it was stuff like that, where there's just some stuff off. You can see there's something going on right there that is not what it appears to be. But in making this, I thought it was going to be the same whenever, it's been a couple of years since I went looking at NASA. So I was like, I'm going to find a bunch of stuff. Well, that's not what happened. I had to dig to find even those few. What I did find, though, was a bunch of videos that were trying to debunk the videos that debunk NASA.
Yeah.
So it was all of a sudden, instead of there being a bunch of videos where it shows weird stuff with NASA, it's a bunch of videos of some guys sitting around kind of like this at a podcast saying, oh yeah, NASA's definitely real. These guys have made this video of these wires. That's not real. That's not really a wire.
CGI'd that in.
That was a string off his shirt. Just crazy stuff. Yeah, why's the string there? What's going on? So I can't say that was kind of weird to me to experience that, knowing that just a few years ago I could go on there and there were pages of videos of crazy stuff.
I remember seeing a video with a school class was talking to these astronauts and all that kind of stuff, and these kids were asking them questions. And this woman was sitting there talking about the glass, like this cup. Look, I can let it go and it's going to float. And as soon as
and she dropped it. I remember that. I remember that video. I bet you can't find that video now.
No, you can't find it now.
I bet you can't find it now.
But I remember that. That was pretty funny.
I remember it. That is weird. Not that we believe in any of the NASA conspiracy theories. I'm just saying it's weird.
It's weird.
So, I'll tell you guys what. Our next slide, I really wanted to show you guys some stuff. I took a clip from, and I got to give credit here, just in case. This is a podcast. These are the clips we use are for educational purposes only. We're not making any money off of any of this. But there's a TV show that used to come on called Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But there was an episode from season 3, episode 5, that they had a little weird stuff. So I'll tell you guys. I'll let you. We'll watch the clip real quick, and then I'll give the context, and then we'll do some other stuff. All right. So let's see that clip.
You're an astronaut. Well, if NASA sent you, they must know how to bring you back, right? This equipment is ancient. I know NASA has funding issues, but you'd think they'd upgrade for a mission like this.
I stopped it right there. Of course, I didn't want to, have too much of Disney's intellectual property going on. So the context of that clip is in that episode that chick you seen, that lady we saw, she got transported in a portal to this other planet. And it's some planet way out there in, Neverland. And well, while she's on this planet, she encounters this dude who's an astronaut. He's been living on this planet for like 25, 30 years. So he tells his backstory, and his backstory was he worked for the Air Force, and NASA had a program. They had made a program to go find this special planet. It was a secret program, and so him and a bunch of other guys were selected because they were the best of the best to go into space and to find this planet. So they traveled there with the help of, this is Marvel Universe, so they had some, interdimensional whatever going on. But they made it to this planet. And when they got to the planet, all of them, there was some kind of entity on this planet. And all of the crew members went insane and started, killing each other and stuff. Unaliving each other, I meant to say.
Yeah.
But they all went insane, and he was the only survivor. So this lady shows up, she meets him, and he tells her his backstory. And he's telling her about, he was working for NASA under this super secret program, and they showed this emblem. It's a spaceship right there going into outer space, and it's got the rocket boosters and stuff. So they showed this emblem, and it continued on, but I wanted to stop on the emblem. And I want you to remember Marvel. That's going to show up later. Marvel is going to show up later. Even though Marvel was, the company that made this movie based on Marvel comic book characters, I want you to remember that name, Marvel. All right, so let's look at really quick. Let's look at the next slide because look at there. Look what happens when you turn that emblem upside down. Mm-hmm. It turns into, and that's actually part of the episode. Later on, that episode shows a little bit of that emblem upside down, but like 3 episodes later, they show that emblem completely inverted like that, and now the backstory comes out. This program and again, this is just a TV show. Right. I'm not saying any of this is true, but in the TV show, this program that NASA created was actually designed, this entity that was on this planet was actually like this ancient demon. And NASA, under the direction of the people that led NASA, who were actually part of this ancient cult that worshiped this ancient demon, NASA created this program to send sacrifices to this demon. So the big reveal for that episode and the following 2 or 3 episodes is that this NASA program was ran by Hydra. If you guys are familiar with the Marvel stuff, Hydra was like some evil, organization in the Marvel universe, but it was actually ran by Hydra, and they had worshipped this ancient demon. And so NASA itself had this program where they send people to this planet to be sacrificed to this demon, and the emblem showed their true intention. When you turned it upside down, it made the goat's head, the Baphomet head. So, of course, that's not a Baphomet head up at the top. It's just a ram's head off of some sports team. But I wanted to put it there so we could see. Look, that's definitely a goat's head. The spaceship turns into the goat skull, and the rocket blast turned into his horns along with the space stuff. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about all that right there? That's kind of weird.
Well, and I know we're saying that it was just a TV show.
It's a TV show.
But we could also say that, Greek mythology is just myths.
Just myths, stories.
Babylonian mythology, all this pagan, it's just myths.
That's all it is.
Fake stuff. It's very easy to justify what we want to enjoy by just saying it's just this. And if we truly believe, what we say we believe, at what point do we draw a line and say it's obvious what the enemy's trying to do? For instance, I'm sure we would all agree that the enemy works through songs. He finds his way into lyrics, and even in the church lyrics, even into the songs in the church. He finds his way into Hollywood movies. He finds his way into TV shows. And so again, the question I would, I guess, ask, and this is kind of get more just on the church topic, but would be to all the viewers, and feel free to comment if you like. But at what point do we step back and say, well, that's dangerous to the soul, that's sin, you shouldn't hang out with these kind of people, you shouldn't do these kind of activities because it looks evil, but then at the same time justify things that hold the same perspectives and have the same task at hand, but justify it because it's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's nice. I'm just listening to this song because it's nice. Again, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little while of my personal take on stuff like this and a personal conviction that I have. But I'm not going to share it here. But that's just my 2 cents. It's just saying, looking at how easy the enemy would take a most kids like comics. Start out reading comics as a child. So what better way than to take the upcoming generation and say, start something here? Yes. Because the enemy's playing chess, not checkers. He's not looking to change something overnight. So.
That's right. But you, Ryan?
Oh, I'm in the exact same boat. I mean, it's so funny that it's in Marvel. It's in Marvel, but it's in Disney as well. And I don't want to jump too far ahead, so I'm trying to be cautious. But it's just funny that this is even represented inside this TV show that Marvel's putting on through Disney. But the symbolism is everywhere. And it's in our faces, and it's almost like an arrogance. It's in our faces in a lot of these ways. And this is just one of many. And I'll say that straight up. This is one of many things that's in these TV shows and these movies and everything else that it's kind of like, in your face. Where I'm showing you that I'm here, but we're not going to say that I'm here. I'm
Yes.
just showing you that I'm here.
That's right.
And that's the kind of stuff that's kind of, I don't know, that bugs me because as a youth pastor, kids are attacked, youth are attacked, and us as men of God, we definitely want to protect as much as possible and stand up. But it's also hard when the world is doing the exact opposite all the time. So
Yeah.
not trying to get into that because I will be sitting here preaching on that for another hour and a half. So, but yeah.
Well, I can say this: it's with stuff like this, and this is just one example, and that's actually a older show.
Yeah.
And it's just one example of many where you can find in pop culture, and movies, TV, music, videos, whatever, even video games.
Yes, sir.
Especially, yeah.
Where there are symbols, and it's almost like they come right out and kind of tell you, "This is what we're doing."
Yeah.
You know, but we're going to do it under the guise of this. This is just make believe entertainment. I mean, we know there's not a portal, some space alien planet. Sure, but at the same time, you're using a real organization that exists now, NASA, and you're connecting it to some really weird stuff. And as we go along in this rabbit trail, we'll see that although that seems a little far fetched, there might be something there. I'm not saying that, they're NASA's sending people to some weird planet with a demon on it. What I'm saying is that maybe, just maybe, NASA does have some connections with the darkness that aren't really seen on the surface level unless you go a little deeper.
I kind of want to jump into this a little bit, and I know y'all probably have no clue what I'm about to talk about, but I used to be a big comic book fan. I mean, like, I love comic books. And Hydra is a secret organization.
It is.
It actually started before the Nazis, but
Yes.
it really grew during the Nazi reign.
Yep.
But it was a secret organization that was hidden underneath
Yes.
that nobody really knew about. And
Out of the darkness into the light.
Exactly. And they have a slogan, when one head is chopped off, many more will grow.
Yes.
I think it's 3 in its place, something like that. And of course the Hydra from mythology.
Yes.
But it reminds me because they're the secret organization that's running the world. It reminds me of something else that is supposedly in our world now, that secret organization that's running the world. So, and they in the comic books and even in the movies right now, they show that Hydra is linked inside of all these government agencies.
That's right.
All across the world.
That's right.
And it's actually a one world government that's being ran by
A
Hydra.
shadow government.
So it's kind of funny that, anyway, let's go ahead. I'm just going to move on, Illuminati.
We're not hitting all around that thing. Bam, 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 bam. Hopefully you guys can catch what we're stepping in. You know what I'm saying?
DC does that too, but anyway,
Yeah,
go ahead.
DC does too. So here's something I wanted to show. The real that's obviously on the screen was a made up emblem of NASA for this made up space program, for this made up television show. Now, NASA has a real emblem, a real logo, so I'd like to look at it. However, there it is right there. You see, like, this is some artwork that someone made, and the people that made it kind of know a little something that a lot of us don't know.
A little something.
A little something. You see, there's a gigantic snake, and out of the snake's mouth, that's a forked tongue, and without the snake there, that's the actual NASA logo. It's NASA, and it's this little thing orbiting the word NASA, and the two rocket flares join together, and that little point that they make that's actually at the snake's mouth, that's supposed to be where the rocket's at, and those two red streams are the rocket exhaust. That's the fire coming out of the rocket. Now, having said that, it does look a little weird that it's forked like that, and so someone added the snake to it, to make it a snake's tongue. So the reason they did that, though, is going to be what we learn next. So let's go ahead and look at this next thing right here. One is Nasha, and it means to deceive. And if you look, there's a little dot up there on that middle letter. That middle letter is the shin. So you have the nun, the shin, and the aleph, and that makes Nasha. And that dot on that little middle letter is on the right-hand side. So that makes the sh sound. So that's why it's Nasha. and it means to deceive. And that word is used in Genesis 3:13. And the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" And the woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." And then so the next word on the bottom of the screen is pronounced nasa. And it's spelled exactly, as a matter of fact, in Hebrew, both of those words are spelled exactly the same. The only difference is that dot that's above that middle letter.
That's right.
It's now on that nasa, it's on the left-hand side of that shin, and so that makes the s sound. It's a sin. So you have shin for nasha, sin for nasa. And that word is used in Genesis 4:30. So we got Genesis 3:13. Now, exactly one chapter later, Genesis 4:13 says, "And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear." And so that word nasa means to bear a burden. So you have these two words, nasha and nasa, that are exactly the same, minus that one little shin dot, sin, shin dot. They're spelled exactly the same. And if you really look and you think about it, they, even though they mean something different, they're still connected.
Yeah.
Because when you deceive someone, you're carrying a burden. And you're causing them to carry a burden. So they're connected still. So a lot of people, according to the theory, according to the conspiracy theory, they take that, NASA, and of course we know NASA means the National Aerospace Agency or something like that, I guess, you know. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like that. It's an acronym.
Yeah.
NASA. But they'll take that and be like, okay, well, this word in Hebrew, NASA, means this. And the exact same word, but the dot moved, means this right here. It means to deceive. And this one means to bear a burden. So is that a coincidence? What y'all think? Inquiring minds want to know.
I don't think so whatsoever. I think it's dead on.
And I think it's, you know, kind of crazy that the word used there in Genesis, you know, is when the serpent deceived and beguiled Eve. The shin to sin, whatever you want to say, you know, whether it's just, it just goes from a sh to a sound.
Yep.
It's the same Hebrew word.
Yeah.
That's the same Hebrew word.
And again, when he deceived her, the whole world, because Adam, he deceived her, she brought Adam into the fold, and the whole world was deceived, and the burden was placed upon
That's
the whole
right.
world.
The burden of the sin was placed on the whole man. Whoa, that just added some deep stuff right there.
Yeah.
Wow. You know something I noticed when I was reading this and learning about the shin nasha and sin nasa in that verse in 3:13, and we done looked at this before. The nakash nashad Eve. I was like, whoa! The nakash, the serpent, nashad, deceived Eve. I was like, whoa! That's some weird stuff right there. That is some weird stuff.
Say that 3 times real fast. Nakash nashad.
So that's where they get that idea of a snake spitting out his tongue with the NASA. That's where that graphic come from.
Well, I hate to do this to you, but we got to take a break. We have to go to our sponsors real quick.
Do.
So
we do.
But we'll see you guys right back after this.
Right back.
Yo, it's your boy Chris from Rose City Wholesale. If you want appliances, flooring, clothes, we got it all. Don't pay retail, get it for a bargain price at 480 Commercial Drive in Thomasville, Georgia.
Hello there, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the Northwoods Holy Grounds Cafe. How about you do this? Come inside, let's take a tour real quick.
So this right here is a little pudding pop cup right here. So you put it in here in our diaphragminator, and then, yes, you used our bowl right here.
The sauce.
Yes, and this is how we make the scrambled eggs. You just go like that right there, bam. Well, and then whenever it comes out, you know, then we stir it with our stirrer. Right
Special stir.
Yes.
Stir it up.
Stir it up right there.
Deliver it to the customer. Happy as can be.
So good, so good.
Yes.
Hey, and we'd also like to show you guys our shirt collection. As you can see, we have a lot of shirts, and Also, we'd like to show you guys that we take orders really very seriously.
My mommy said I can have a Capri Sun.
So can we have a Capri Sun, guys?
Sure. Hey, homie, give me a Capri Sun. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
We just want answers.
Give us your answers. We're going to take your reflexes.
Yes! Yes!
What are y'all doing?
Uh,
What have I told y'all?
just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Right back.
I touched the floor.
Oh, that's a record. That's a record.
There it is. Oh, there it is right there. I guess when do you guys want to introduce the next slide? And it's the stuff with Jack Parsons and all the. Here it is right there. Look at that.
Just makes me want to be like,
Yes, that is the White Carlton. Look at them waves on that boy.
he does. Got some. I like that stash you got going on.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right.
I can't say what I want to say. I'm here.
You got Zeke down there in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
You like the woman holding the egg over here?
Yeah. Dude, that egg is crazy too, by the way.
Probably wouldn't eat it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So in that picture right there at the top left hand corner, we have the NASA and the JPL logo. Now, who this guy Jack Parsons is if you don't know, he's like kind of considered the grandfather of NASA.
Right.
He started this company that later became known as JPL, which is Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Yeah.
Which is like within NASA. It's the NASA.
reason. Yeah, it's the reason behind it.
So this guy right here is the dude that started that. You know, he's a famous rocket scientist / genius.
Self-made
Self-made.
scientist.
By the way, if you guys again, you know,
he actually got kicked out of school, didn't he, for destroying toilets or something?
Military school,
military
because he was a rebel child.
Yes, he was a weirdo.
Yeah.
And in case y'all don't know, but going back to the Marvel thing, here's a couple things. He was the inspiration for Tony Stark and Tony Stark's father. Mostly Tony Stark's father, but that bred into
that's
Tony
Iron
Stark.
Man.
Iron Man.
That's Iron Man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. So
not a superhero fan, just so you know.
That's all right. That's all right. This dude is not a superhero. But anyway, this is the inspiration for it. But also, here was the weird thing. His name was originally Marvel Parsons.
Yeah.
That was his name. But his dad ended up running. His dad's name was Marvel too.
Speaking
he
of,
didn't like it. He didn't like it. I don't care, Marvel. I don't care, Marvel.
Yeah, we'll care.
Yeah.
Get him, Magic Mike.
We'll care.
That's right. So he changed his name from Marvel to Jack because he didn't want to be associated with his father.
Yeah.
But that was his original name was Marvel. That's
Marvel.
pretty weird. So what's some weird stuff about this guy that y'all know? And we'll talk about the picture in a minute.
Well, I mean, do you want to dive into the sex cult? Do you want to dive? I mean,
yeah.
I would say, just looking all the way back to he's 12 years old, he does his first summoning.
Oh, yeah.
He was already drawn to this occult stuff, and he sums up sexually perverted, what he believes was a successful thing, and it kind of frightened him.
Yep.
But at the same time, it excited him.
Yeah.
And he always loved explosives.
Yeah.
He loved that stuff, which is what led to him. And the crazy fact is he died from explosion.
That's right. That's right.
He blowed himself up.
That's exactly right. Under suspicious circumstances.
Because there's a lot of people that think he was murdered.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because maybe he knew too much.
He died in his prison cell.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
The cameras just happened to be off.
The guards
fell asleep.
That's right.
The stars aligned perfectly for this to happen.
Stars aligned.
That's right.
NASA aligned the stars.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you.
Perfectly, too.
So it right up there at the top, right by NASA and JPL, you see that weirdo dude with the little pyramid on his head and holding his fat cheeks.
Yeah.
That guy is a jerk face called Aleister Crowley. And Aleister Crowley, if you don't know,
He's special.
Yes, he's the father of modern day Satanism.
Yeah.
Thelemic.
Yes.
Magic with a K.
Yes, he
Yeah.
started the religion of
Magic
Thelemic.
Mike for today with a K.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we call him Magic Mike today.
He's Prison Mike, but he's Magic Mike
Today's Magic Mike.
with a K for this episode.
Y'all calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
We're not going to do anything.
He neither, I promise.
So the reason he's on there, though, on that little slide, is because Jack Parsons, this NASA founding father, grandfather of NASA, was a devoted disciple of Aleister Crowley.
That's right.
And Aleister Crowley, I would advise you not to dig too deep into him because
dear
the
Lord.
dude's a pervert. He was
Very
a
much
pervert.
so.
He was sick and super wicked.
Real plug in
go
real
ahead.
quick. He also helped co-found Scientology,
Yes.
and a lot of people don't realize it. So
That's exactly right. And that leads us to the other guy.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side, that guy right there was best friends with Jack Parsons and knew Aleister Crowley well. That guy's name is L. Ron Hubbard, who was the founder, the official founder of Scientology. Y'all, we're going to get some folks riding by our house in black vans now.
And you know, the crazy thing though about Jack Parsons, that he was such a devoted follower of Aleister Crowley that they would write letters like father to son.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there is no evidence ever that Jack Parsons ever met Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no evidence whatsoever. All of this was done through his attachment through an occult, that he basically became a follower's man, so dedicated, but yet never met him.
So I'm imagining like some weird secretary for Aleister Crowley. Love Aleister. Like Aleister Crowley didn't even know the guy existed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So, here's how that connection with L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology went down. Like I said, they were like really good friends and really close. Well, in the 40s, they got this idea that they wanted to open a portal in the spiritual, using Thelema, using that religion of Aleister Crowley. So Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard, and look, this isn't even conspiracy, y'all. This is actual stuff. This is documented.
You can find it on Wikipedia.
You can find it all over the place. This is documented. This really happened. Now, whether they really opened the portal or not, that's up to you to decide. But they really did go into the desert, and they really did perform this ritual, doing a bunch of weird junk.
yeah.
And in that ritual, they called it the Babylon working. And that's really how, I promise I didn't try to spell that like that. That's how they spelled it. Instead of Babylon, like the way we spell it that's in Revelation and in the Bible, they spelled it Babylon.
Yeah.
And they called it the Babylon working. So they tapped in supposedly to this spiritual energy, and they were trying to bring forth this goddess called Babylon, also known as the Scarlet Woman, which is where that red-headed weirdo woman over there on the left-hand side comes into play. And what she was supposed to be is the embodiment of this ancient feminine deity.
Yeah.
And I realized I didn't know this until studying this right here. The reason she's holding that black egg is the black egg actually, I had to write it down. I didn't even know this. And I know some weird stuff. But the black egg is an occult symbol for the void and for chaos.
Wow.
And it's symbolic for the potential of life, but not life. So that's what she was supposed to bring, is the void, chaos, and the potential for power. That's what that black egg represented. And I thought that was kind of weird too, because in learning that, here's another connection my brain made. I don't know if it's connected or not, but my brain made the connection because I studied the black egg, and I learned that in the occult, there are a bunch of eggs with different colors. Each colored egg represents something different in the occult. And it made me think of something familiar to Christianity about some colored eggs. I don't know, I don't know if it's connected or not. I don't even remember what it was I was thinking of that's connected to, but it's something about some colored eggs. But anyway, I thought it was really weird that there's this black egg that this feminine goddess was supposed to bring the void. So and then the last thing is that little weird looking dude right there with the big head that looks kind of like Zeke.
Not the guy in the middle. The guy.
That's right.
Make sure that's what
The dude that looks like an alien.
Yeah.
That was actually the god that Aleister Crowley worshipped, and his name was Aiwass. But I think it's kind of weird that he looks like an alien.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird. So, having said all that,
That's what we depict as
what you guys got? What you guys got
I mean,
on
just
all
the
that?
fact that little alien talked to him, or this little demon talked to him for 3 days, I think it was.
Some
it
weird
was like
that.
April something, 9th, 10th, and 11th, or something like that.
Yeah.
Talks to him and tells him all this stuff, and it's okay, that's a little weird. And I don't know, the whole thing is just so crazy to me, especially the little guy talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just, I don't know, it's just apparently crazy to me.
Absolutely.
And then we get into the sex cult stuff,
Yep.
and we talk about the red woman shows up
Yep.
in the middle of this desert. I mean, in the middle of this place, randomly just walks up on this big giant sex cult.
Yep.
Let's just leave it at that. Walks up and supposedly gets pregnant,
Yep.
but nobody touched
Yes.
her. So then somebody married her.
That's the black egg. too.
Yeah.
Fertility.
Black egg.
Yeah.
Yes, the fertility.
Ain't it kind of crazy? But then somebody married her, and then all of a sudden she has a miscarriage, and
Yep.
which void
Yes. Yes.
kind of Anyway, so this whole situation's kind of crazy between this
Here's
whole
another
group.
Another random connection too. Back to Marvel. Scarlet Witch
Yeah,
is based sort of loosely on
off
the
of this
Scarlet
Scarlet
Woman.
Woman.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't know that, but it sounds good.
Yeah, and she controls
right.
chaos magic too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's kind of crazy too.
Yes. That is
It's
some crazy
something we should
stuff.
all make sure our kids get to watch.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
let's definitely.
But one thing that really stood out to me in looking into all this was, again, this whole Thelema magic was not just like pulling a rabbit out of a hat or trickery, but
That's
it
right.
was summoning spirits.
It was
from
real.
the dead.
Yes.
Necromancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when this happened at 12, like it frightened him of like he would never he vowed he wasn't going to do necromancy
Yep.
again. But then the fact that he knew he'd done it and it worked,
He
it
kept
drew
eating
him.
at him.
Yes.
It drew him, and he went back. And now this whole occult that he got involved in, like I said, which would cause him to become a follower of somebody he's never actually met.
Mm-hmm.
But he begins to knows man, and they write back and forth, so he gets to know him through that. And then they do this little seance thing where they believe that they actually opened a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Jack Parsons was from Pasadena, California.
Yep.
And in Pasadena, California, to this day there's a dam. It's called the Hell's Gate Dam, and it is believed by a lot of the locals to be a haunted, occultish, satanic
Wow.
place. And they say the dam itself holds the image of what would look like a devil's face.
Wow.
And you can look that up. You can Google it. It's
Yeah.
out there, whatever. But
We're trying to put it up there.
They believe that they of course, because it's a physical place, you can say, well, yeah, it looks like this, but these people having that spiritual connection, just like people do with the church. Well, they're a cult.
Uh-huh.
They believe that they got this God that they've never met up there, and they've never seen him face to face, and they follow him. And they say the same thing about the church, and then
Yeah.
they dumb it down and play nothing else.
Yeah.
The same way that people don't want you to uncover the spirit of darkness.
Yes.
Dumb it down and say, well, it's just a couple of crazy people out there, but it's nothing but some rocks and a dam that we build for power sources
Yes.
and water control. But to them, they believed that they truly opened a portal to summon spirits
That's wild.
from the darkness.
That is wild.
And again, now you got the story of this Scarlet Woman, and you've got this connection with this little big-headed guy.
Yes.
And you've got this crazy stuff that doesn't just stop with this group of people.
Not at all.
It's taking us into something bigger that goes beyond just this handful of people here that done this crazy stuff and decided to call this portal, the Devil's Gate.
Yep.
Which is kind of reminds me of a podcast we done a while back.
Yeah.
Biblically about
Yes.
Hell's Gate.
Yes.
And what it consisted of.
That's right.
And I'm pretty sure Pan was a big
Come
part
on
of it.
now.
Yes, he was.
And if you're looking at this stuff,
Yes.
Pan
represents.
is it. It's same dude.
That's right.
Same guy.
Jack
same
Parsons was
connection.
infatuated with Pan.
So you've got Mount Hermon.
Yes.
You've got Pasadena.
Yes.
You know, and I'm.
Look at all them crazy connections, man.
Yep.
That is some wild stuff.
And I do want to say this: we didn't plan any of those out.
No.
We did not plan to study that and then come into all this other stuff.
No,
none of it.
It all just flowed into a crazy connection. So, yeah, this has really opened my eyes to see that, you know, regardless of if you're a Bible believing Christian, if you believe in the supernatural, you know, I definitely believe. I don't know if they opened the portal or what, but I know they were dabbling in demonology and playing with snakes, and I know if you play with snakes, you're gonna get bit.
Yes,
and so regardless of what they were actually able to accomplish from their point of view or not, I know that the kingdom of darkness was able to get a foothold in the door, and I mean, just like for instance. Just set aside weirdo Aleister Crowley and set aside even weirdo Jack Parsons. Let's just look at L. Ron Hubbard, who was just kind of there. You know, he participated in the ritual, but in the story of Jack Parsons, he's kind of like a side character that's just there for a little bit. And, you know, he ended up ripping him off and taking a bunch of his money and conning him out of money. But he's not a huge part of the Jack Parsons narrative, but he's there. That dude created Scientology.
Yep.
You got Tom Cruise, you got John Travolta, you
Danny
got
Masterson,
so many.
Ashton Kutcher,
yes,
all of them.
Half of Hollywood worships this guy. Like to Scientologists, L. Ron Hubbard is the guy.
He's right beside God.
Yes,
or their God.
Yeah, their weirdo version of God.
Lizard God. Yeah.
All right. I'm telling you what, you come around my house in a black van, you're gonna find out.
You're gonna find out some stuff.
I'm letting you know now. All right.
But I do also want to say this. Aleister Crowley wanted to be the beast.
Yes.
From Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be known as the beast.
Yes,
so this guy was a creep. Like, I mean, pure. And I know that we've said the sex cult stuff, and I know y'all are like, man, why is he still on? I want you to understand how grotesque this guy is, how much of a creep this guy is.
Disgusting.
He was so involved. Like, that was
Wicked.
how he summoned demons and all that. It's so disgusting, like to the core.
And I'll say this too, just as a little side note to connect it to the world we live in today. The stuff that we know about that's going on with certain powerful people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it started with him.
Yeah, he helped it, though.
But he helped it along because in his day and age, it wasn't folks like you and I that flocked to him.
No.
It was people with power, and they loved that guy.
Yeah.
They loved him.
And this is going to help, lead us, or two things. Before I say what I say, because it'll be a good opportunity to transition if y'all are ready to. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned the Babylon working earlier.
Yeah.
And we don't have, we do. It is up there at the bottom. If you look back at that picture on the bottom right corner, it's called the Babylon working is something that they came up with. And they changed the spelling of Babylon. Mm-hmm. And so I was just kind of looking at it a moment ago, and it just kind of hit me because I know we've talked about it in our Bible studies here. We've talked about it in our podcast. And again, there's so many, people that'll just be like, it's just a changing of a letter.
Just coincidence.
But it goes to show you that the enemy is very schematic. He schemes.
Yes.
And the whole thing, I don't want Babylon. I don't want people to recognize the Babylon. It's a bad thing from the Bible.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to call this Babylon with an A.
Yes.
And it's going to be different. And we're going to be able to reintroduce this thing through a different set. I'm just going to change the enunciation of his name, and it's still going to have the same meaning, but we're going to use it because it still stands. I'm going to change this holiday, but it's still going to have the same reasoning behind it. We're just going to do different stuff.
Yeah.
And the enemy is schematic. And by saying that, what leads me to my second point is that this whole thing with Jack Parsons getting, he was always interested in blowing stuff up, rocketing things like that.
He's even holding
the military. Yes, the military started seeking people to put these jet engines that would propel their planes faster. And they always had a desire to want to try to shoot something into space. So when all this stuff came together with JPL, the initial thing was, we know we want to get to space.
That's right.
We want people to, but we're going to tell people so that we can get funding that is for planes.
Yes.
Because if we say we want to shoot, people are going to think we're crazy.
Yes.
Schematic. The enemy knows. I got a plan. My plan is to get over here. But we're going to have to go this way. We can't just go straight. We got to go this way. We got to pick these people up on the way. We got to pick these people. And he's been doing that since Genesis.
That's right.
He's been working like that since Genesis. So how does he do that? We're going to implement a symbol here. We're going to implement a lyric here. And we're going to implement a person over here. We're going to put a movie here. Ooh. And we're just going to keep bringing people in. And they're going to become, by the time we get over here, they're going to be so unaware. We can just tell them, hey, we're going to space. We're going to visit lizard men.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to have, but it's common to them now because all these little Easter eggs.
We're going to let them. We're going to let them preach about God in church and how He's a loving Savior and He can't hurt anybody and He just wants His will is for nobody to perish. And then we're going to give them a superhero with an S on his chest.
Yes.
And he's going to be a superhero that loves and can't kill anybody and just wants to be a healer for everybody and brings peace and comfort and all this. And we're going to make all of this stuff happen. And if you look though, so we say right here, Aleister Crowley was the founder of the Thelemic magic, this satanic occult, the sign or this, and he's got this little symbol around him in that picture.
Yes. Yeah.
Notice it's two triangles, one pointing up and one pointing down.
Kind of looks like something else.
It does.
And if you draw a circle around that,
it does.
And you cross two triangles, you get another symbol.
That's right.
And in the church, we call it the Star of David.
Oh.
The Bible doesn't call it that, but the church calls it the Star of David.
Oh, not our church.
That
There's a couple churches.
I'm telling you, you come around the house with some black bands now. I'm telling you.
But if you'll notice something about the Satanic Bible, there's a phrase in there, as above, so below.
That's right.
The triangle, as above, so below.
That's exactly right.
This is the man sitting in his little. He's sitting in it. And again, the enemy didn't come in the door and say, "I'm here to destroy your religious beliefs about Jesus Christ, the Savior." I want you to talk about that.
Yeah.
I just want to bring you over here, and when we get ready to talk about Passover and resurrection, let them hunt eggs instead.
Yes.
When we get over here and we get ready to talk about how God had this angelic visit to Mary and she birthed the son, let's put Jolly St. Nick in the chimney while we do that. And, and let's just slowly, and listen, I'm not definitely not saying, I'm getting off on a tangent here.
No, bro, you good.
I'm definitely not saying that, you know.
Magic Mike.
I mean, I've done every bit of what I just mentioned. So, but it's to me, it's like open our eyes, because I grew up, I was telling, I think you the other day, and I know me and you've had the conversation before. Like, I grew up watching the animated series of Superman and Batman.
Yep.
Like, that's the deepest
Best.
I could ever take you into the superhero world. I don't know what's Marvel. I don't know what's DC.
That's DC.
I don't know what's Star Wars.
That's right.
And so,
Not even the same.
so, but in that process, I had a personal conviction when I came to the Lord, and it was like looking into mythology, and looking into the way that the world has always operated. Like, there was a personal conviction where there is like, Josh, protect. And listen, I've probably let other stuff slip through the door because I've probably ignored those convictions. Yeah. But that was just one particular for me. Like,
that's a good conviction.
Like, I couldn't.
That's a good conviction.
I was like, man, there's just something that's not adding up here. And so for me personally, it was a difficult thing to do. Now my kids, they've watched it and they've liked some of it. Yeah. They could probably tell me a lot more about it.
Yeah.
I could tell you just about every war movie out there and what happens, and probably quote half of them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not to, say, well, if you ever watched it and I'm saying you're bad. No, like I said, other ways I'm sure have gotten in my door.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying there was a personal conviction and I didn't know why. But looking into this, I was like, man, maybe the Lord was
protecting.
And now maybe I need to pay more attention to the stuff I probably ignored the Lord on.
Yes.
Because, again, it was the military that wanted this stuff.
Yeah.
They did.
And believe it or not, he comes up. They come up in some of this discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny how the military pops up a lot.
It is. And our government, for sure. And that is a great transition and segue to our next slide.